Hi Stamping friends, it's Sherry Parker coming to you live on Wednesday, June 18th. We're getting some storms that are rolling in right now, so if I do lose connectivity, I will try to restart, but you never know. The weather can be kind of crazy sometimes here in Ohio. But thanks again for joining me. Today is actually my 27th year anniversary of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So it's been a long time. My kids were really little when I started out, and it's been a great journey, and so many of you have been on the journey with me, and I thank you for that. And it only seems fitting that tonight's card is a card that was inspired by one of my longtime team members, Tammy Fight, and I can't wait to show you. It's a Twisted Gatefold card. So I will show you that in just a minute. A couple quick things. Wanted to mention the Sweet sale, buy one, get one at 50% off, is still going on through June. So if you have any questions on that, please let me know. There's information on the Stampin' Up! Website or my website, sherrythomas.stampinup.net. Happy to explain things because I know sometimes it gets a little confusing because not only are the suites buy one, get one 50% off, but also the contents of each suite. So it's a little bit of kind of trial and error and making sure that you maximize the savings. So I'm going to turn my camera around and we'll get started here in just a minute. Hi Felicia. Hi Sheila. All right, before I start the card, I did want to remind you I have two product-based classes going on right now in the month of June, the Beautiful Gallery class, as well as the Sunrise Sailing class. I've promoted these, I've talked about them, so I won't spend a lot of time tonight, but if you are interested at all, let me know. Essentially, you buy the product and then you'll get the contents to make 5 cards. So it's a good deal, no extra cost to you, but certainly you have to order on my website and then let me know that you're participating in the class. And then on June 29th, anyone who does purchase these items and take advantage of the class, you're invited to my house if you want to come make the cards. Or, you know, I'll send you the packet and you can make them at home at your leisure too. So either way. All right, enough about that. As I mentioned, the buy one, get one sale, one of the suites, this is an online exclusive suite, it's called Textured Botanicals, and it's really a cool, nice, neutral suite, and we're going to be using this tonight. So I took advantage of the sale. I bought this suite in addition to the lovely garden suite. So it was great savings. You get a lot of product. So I wanted to show you. So with this particular suite, the textured note stamp set and dies, the dies themselves are not available. I checked this morning, unfortunately. However, the other parts and pieces of this suite are. So, but really nice items. You've got these matte dots that are great, and then the mini corrugated 3D embossing folder, some ribbon, and then what's cool about this suite is there's actually 2 packs of paper. So you've got this first pack here is called Textured Notes, and look at all these really cool, nice, neutral browns and gray patterns. So that's one of the packs, and then the second pack is called Woven Textures, and it's black and white, which is great too. I love using black and white papers because you can accent with any color and it looks great. So I wanted to show you the contents of that suite and then show you the card we're going to be making tonight. So this is a Twisted Gatefold card, and like I said, we'll be using the Textured Botanical suite, but it's really, really a cool fold. And the inspiration came from my friend Tammy Fight. She's been on my team for 26 years, been a good friend of mine all these years, and she sent me this card a few weeks ago, and I just thought it was so cute. She used the Florals Abloom suite for her card, but I just loved it, and that is my inspiration for tonight's card. So this is what we're making. This is my inspiration. So to start with this card, the items that you'll need, it's not a lot of supplies, but you'll need your card base here, which measures 7.5 across by 4.5 down. You need a couple of pieces of designer series paper, and they'll measure 2.25 by 3 7/8. Okay. You'll need something for the inside. I chose white, and this piece is, let's see, 2.25 by 4. I have a little strip for embellishment, and then I have some circles that I punched out with a 2-inch and 2.25 inch punches. So that is it for supplies. Really pretty basic. So to start, I've got my wonderful scoring tool here, and you can see I've got a mark. I marked it in white just to help with, in just a minute you'll see. But to start the card base, on the long side, you're going to score at 2.5 and 5. Okay, so I've made 3 panels there. And then the next step, you're going to score from this upper left corner to the first score line, okay? You're going at a diagonal. And then you're not going to turn the paper around. You're going to do the same thing from the top of the score to the lower right-hand corner. Okay, so you've made all those score lines. Hopefully you can see those pretty well. So it's really simple. You just fold on your score lines and look, isn't that so easy? I was surprised at how simple this was. Honestly, I'd never really made one of these. Looked a little intimidating and maybe just a little bit more complicated than it really is. So let me use my bone folder and we'll just kind of fold those edges down. All right, so there is our card base. Next step we'll take our pieces of designer series paper. Again, I've got 2, and these measure 2 1/4 by 3 7/8. And I'm going to actually cut these together, but you're going to cut on the diagonal. So again, you'll go corner to corner. If you have one of our trimmers, it makes it really easy. Just slide the blade across and you're done. So there are all the pieces that you're going to need. And then all you do is just glue them down. So you've got 4 triangles and 4 flaps. So on the outermost flap, I'm going to, hi Marion, thank you for joining. I hope you're safe from these impending storms. So we're going to put this one down as well, like that. I'm getting glue everywhere, aren't I? I can hear the thunder outside. It's scary. And then on the back panels, I'm going to have the other side showing. Thanks, Marion. So I'll put this one, tuck that in here like so. I like to use glue when I'm using pointed edges because you can get glue into the corners. Use tape, sometimes you can't get into the corners as easily. All right. So see how simple that is? And really now you get to do all the decorating and all the fun. So I have this inside piece. This is for the inside of my card. And then I made this little accent piece. I think it's the same width as this piece, so 2 1/4, and then I think it's about 1/2 inch tall. I'm going to stamp one of the greetings. This set has 3 greetings with it. I'm going to use the leaf for the outside piece, and then I'm going to use the thank you. So I'm going to use my Memento ink black, and then we'll go ahead and glue this on the inside. Very simple. Oh, the rain started there. Yeah, I can hear it out there. It's starting here too. I'm really hoping I can get through this without losing power or anything. All right, so we've got our inside done like that. And then for the outside piece, I showed you the leaf I'm stamping. I'm using Pecan Pie, which is the same color as our card base. And I'm actually gonna stamp it off so it's a little bit lighter. So you could stamp a word if you wanted. And then we'll glue that on to the black base like that. And then the last step is I've got some of this fun like rust colored twine, and I'm going to adhere a nice little twine bow, right, like, oops, didn't get my glue dot very well. The door just blew open in my office here. I'm gonna go shut it real quick, sorry. So, but real quick before I do that, I'm gonna put a little bit of adhesive right there onto my card front, and then I'll position this just like that. So see how simple. Isn't that so cute and fun? And again, this is my inspiration. Thank you, Tammy. Love it. Oh, Sharon lost her, but I'm gonna go shut this door real quick. I'm sorry, guys. I was out there earlier looking at my flowers, and I guess I didn't shut the door all the way. Anyway, so there is our card, and I wanted to show you a couple others that I have. So I've got another graduation party this week, and I've had so many this year. And for this one, I'm using the other pack of paper that comes in that same suite, woven textures. And then I made a graduation cap using a square punch. And then this tassel is from the Wildflower Birthday suite. And then I just used some silver, but then on the inside, rather than stamping, I'll just have to write a little message. I made a little pouch, and I do this frequently. You've probably seen this. Just put some money in there and you're good to go. This is for a guy. So obviously not a lot of flowers and stuff. I try to keep it kind of semi-masculine. And then I did make one other one using the other suite that I bought with the promotion. This is the Lovely Garden suite. So I used the Designer Series paper. And then for this one, these flowers are a little bit larger. They're actually shown smaller than they actually are. So what I did is I just stamped one of them, colored it in with blends, and then I just fussy cut it out and put it in the middle there. Because these large stamps would have just been too overpowering, I think. So hopefully you like how that turned out too. So really the possibilities are endless. You can use any Designer Series paper, any stamps embellishments that you want. This one doesn't even have any stamps. So again, no end to the creativity. So thank you again, Tammy, for being my inspiration tonight. As usual, yes, Ruth, it does fit into an envelope. I don't have one handy, but yes, it does. It fits exactly perfectly into one of our normal envelopes. So like if you look at this card here, I'm about to draw for these. So this is our normal card size. See how that would fit in an envelope? So good question. No, thank you for asking that. So that's a good segue into our next part, which is when we draw for last week's cards. And Ruth, I know you won last week, and I didn't get it in the mail until today because I was out of town over the weekend. So you'll get it this week. Sorry about that. But last week we made these 3 cards. It's using that real simple card formula. So we went from very basic, a little bit stepped up, and then even more stepped up. So I'm going to be drawing for these because every week if you comment on or share my live videos, your name is automatically entered in to win the projects that I make every week. So it's a great, easy way. I'll send these to you in the mail, hopefully a little more timely than Ruth. But so we'll go ahead and draw for these 3 based on everyone from last week who commented on or shared. So this first one right here will go to Connie Newman. And Connie, I might need your address. I don't know that I have it, so I'll reach out to you through Facebook Messenger. The second one here goes to Karen Beck. Thank you, Karen, for watching. And then our last one here, the cheers, will go to Marion Henrik. So there you go. Thank you, everyone, for watching. As always, I do appreciate you. I know you could be doing other things this evening. Of course, here in Ohio, I'm not sure what you'd be doing. Hopefully nothing outside right now because it's almost tornado looking. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon. And again, remember the buy one, get one sales going through June. And just a little plug, I am gonna be having a virtual garage sale. I will be sending out an email with all the sets and things I have for sale. So if you're not on my email list, please message me and I will add you. All right, you have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care and good night. Bye.